actions have changed the world.
Hello, and welcome back to the world of assassination and the trending contracts. And today's contract 5, set in New York, and the contract ID is on the screen now for anyone who wishes to have a crack at it, and has been supplied to us today courtesy of RJ1 Rico. So moving on to our briefing, and there isn't one, so we'll just say that our targets today have been rather naughty and they need to be punished. And speaking of targets, today we have 5 of them, with no stipulations on how we dispatch them or what we wear whilst we do so, so we have a free map. And for today's challenge, we'll be starting as the bank robber. We're going to have an magnetic gas grenade stored up in the loading bay, and we'll be bringing with us a vial of lethal poison, our ever trusty lockpick, and a silenced pistol. So right from the start and off the bat, we're just going to let that camera pass and then make our way around the edge of the loading dock, retrieving our gas grenade along the way, and we are going to lockpick our way into the cabinet on the wall outside of the security office. And in here we will find some chloroform. We're going to take that chloroform and place it into the ventilation system. Now normally I take out the camera above the security office there, but I've learned not to bother. It's easy enough to avoid. So once we have the chloroform in the ventilation system, we're going to turn on the air conditioning. That's going to render 3 of the 4 guards in the area unconscious, and if we make our way up the vault stairs here and wait a couple of seconds, the 4th guard will think we've left the area, and he will then trigger his routine, and he will make his way into the security room and render himself immediately unconscious. All we have to do is remember to turn off the ventilation before we enter. We're going to take out the surveillance system, collect up a bodyguard's outfit and the key card that he has, and then make our way back upstairs. And up here we're going to grab ourselves a couple of items. So just in the corridor on our left on a shelf we will find a screwdriver, and then at the end of the room a propane cylinder. So we're going to take both of these items, and we're now going to start making our way up towards our targets. So target number 1, Officer Frank, is on his patrol. He have a very long routine. There is Mr. Perez, who we will actually be getting to first. So we're just going to make our way down into the corridor here, and then just on the floor by the fire extinguisher we are going to place our propane cylinder. We're going to put one hole in that propane cylinder so that it's leaking, and then we're going to make our way up to the investment floor via these stairs. And if we are quick enough and we time it right, the security guard in the office has just put down his drink and moved away from the counter, so we can make our way straight inside and add our lethal poison to the cup at the back of the room by the surveillance system, and that will take care of Mr. Perez shortly. We're then going to make our way into the bathroom, lockpick our way into the cabinet on the wall, and gain ourselves some more lethal poison. So Perez is currently engaged in a conversation with Mr. Mann. So we're going to make our way down the stairs, not all the way, almost to the bottom. We're going to pull out our silenced pistol, line up our shot with the propane cylinder, and then we're just going to wait for Officer Frank to arrive. When he does, we can detonate the cylinder, and that is Officer Frank taken care of. We're now going to make our way back up to the investment floor and along to the stock market area, which is just here, I believe, which is the investment banking floor. I always call it the stock market. So we're just going to hide ourselves out of the way while there is a lot of panic and randomness going on, just in case. Then we're going to select our gas grenade, and that will come in handy in a few moments. In the meantime, Mr. Perez has just entered into the security office after his conversation, and he will eventually go and he will sample the glass of water at the back of the room. He does inspect a few documents first of all, so don't worry if he stood there for a little while. Eventually he does pick up the glass and regret it very quickly after that. So that's 2 targets taken care of. So we're now going to make our way through into the investment banking area. There is Mr. Man. We will get to him shortly. In the meantime, we're just going to stand right in the doorway here, maybe a little bit further forward than I currently am. There we go. And we're just going to throw our gas grenade at our target's feet once she moves into position, and immediately move away. She's going to get sick, obviously, and she's going to make her way around to the bathrooms here, and we're just going to get here ahead of her so that we're out of sight of the guard in the security room and the gap in the wall that he is able to see through. So once our target joins us in the bathroom, we can reintroduce her to her breakfast, and then we can move on to our final 2 targets, one of which being Mr. Man and the last being Athena Cephalis. So with our target dealt with, we're just going to make our way around to the stairs at the back of the investment banking floor and up to the conference room, and Mr. Man is just leaving, so we have plenty of time to get what we want done, but it will mean we're waiting around for him for a while. So as long as everyone has their backs to us, we're going to add our lethal poison to the glass on the corner of the desk, and then as we have plenty of time, we're going to make our way around to Athena Cephalis' office area, let ourselves into the rec room, and then we're going to trigger the fire alarm. Bit counterproductive, but believe me, it works. Everybody in Athena's office, including all of the enforcers, usually will now vacate this area, making it much easier to negotiate and do what we have to do. Now, one guard will remain, although it's usually not an enforcer. There he is, and while he's at the back of the room here, we are going to head over to the big clock, and we are going to tamper with the big clock using the screwdriver we collected earlier. And then before we go and hide, we're going to make our way into Athena's little sanctum area, and we're going to grab the CEO exit key. Now normally I wouldn't bother because we'd have to get the key off of Athena, but we have a lockpick on us, so while everybody is out of the area and panicking, we may as well grab it. And I was just looking to see, that would be an ideal spot to see Mr. Man go down, but it would make our exit that much more difficult. So we're going to go and plant ourselves behind the sofa here and await the return of Athena and all of her bodyguards, including the enforcers. Let's just see, can we find ourselves a better position? Now Athena's actually going to go into her sanctum, So this is not the best position really to be in. Maybe just over by the coins. Just over here, this looks pretty good. Yeah, we'll get a decent view from here. So eventually Athena will go through her routine, and part of that is to lean on the clock, and just as she falls out of the window, Mr. Man samples his poisoned drink. So we get 2 for 1 at the same time. So with all of our targets now dealt with, all that's left for us to do is to make good our escape. And we're just going to head straight out of the rec room area and down to the CEO exit directly below us. So there we go, one more trending contract taken care of. Quite an enjoyable one this. I do enjoy New York. It is a bit tricky, but can be a lot of fun. So we have confirmation all of our targets have been eliminated according to plan, and that will net us our Silent Assassin rating. I have been Anubis, and I will see you all in the next video.